Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm your co-host, John Alexander Reese. And if you didn't know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African-American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and Northern Kentucky area. And today we have with us our digital correspondent, Andrea Carter. How's it going, Andrea?
Fine. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Now, before we move on to our main topic, we have some chocolate news to discuss. So what's our chocolate news for this week, Andrea?
Well, the chocolate, this has been an interesting time in Cincinnati because, we just got done celebrating Juneteenth and Pride's about to happen. But in between those two wonderful celebrations, we have just a little drama going on. It's the PG Sittenfeld trial that just got started. So I'm going to jump off our chocolate news today talking about PG Sittenfeld because he is one of the three progressive politicians who were either indicted or actually convicted of charges of taking a bribe or taking money or things like that. PG had said he's innocent. The jury selection got underway. That was yesterday. Today, his trial got underway. They had 3 hours of opening statements, including one juror looked like he was falling asleep, according to one reporter. And then they started with the first witness on the stand, and that was the Chinyendum Nudwick, who he is a Columbus-based developer, but he also was a former Cincinnati Bengal. And according to the article, he was paid $27,000 to wear a wire at City Hall for 18 months to catch people on a corruption trial because he complained that he was tired of being shaken down every single time he wanted to do a development deal or do a development in Cincinnati. Someone's always trying to asking him for money. So that went on today. It was a very interesting trial. This is going to last for 2 weeks. Supposedly, PG may get on he may take the stand in his own defense. I don't know for sure if that's going to happen or not, but this is going to be interesting to see how this is going to develop, who is going to speak out and either speak up for the prosecution or for the defense. I do know former council member Kevin Flynn and Chris Silbach have both stated that they will be called to the witness stand, including some other prominent CEOs of the Cincinnati business community will be called to take the stand and testify as well, either called by the prosecution or defense. So our Cincinnati soap opera, political drama has begun. So I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully I'll have more to talk about next week on the Chocolate News Podcast on this. Next up, very, very tragic. A tragic incident occurred where a 15-year-old girl stabbed her 16-year-old brother over the use of a PlayStation in Springfield Township. The girl does not have a criminal background, has never been in trouble before, but I think it was just, siblings argue, siblings, things happen between siblings regarding playing a game or things like that. And unfortunately, whatever occurred between the brother and the sister, it cultivated in her stabbing her brother. And it was after supposedly the brother stole her PlayStation 4 from her. And he probably didn't give it back or something like that. Who knows what happened? But it's a sad tragedy that occurred in Cincinnati. So I'm just going to say, let's keep both the whole family up in prayer. This is a tragic incident. It's unfortunate that arguments between brother and sister went this far. It's just sad.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And obviously they're going to get a professional behavioral specialist involved in this. Obviously there's something there that needs to be evaluated. And so hopefully they'll get this young lady some help.
The other interesting thing is when Bill Cosby got out of jail, I thought we were done with him and all of his shenanigans. But today, the jury found out, jurors today in a civil trial found that Bill Cosby sexually abused a 16-year-old girl at a Playboy mansion in 1975. The jury delivered the verdict in the favor of Judy Huff, who is now 64, and awarded her $500,000. She said the fact that jury believed her story meant that more than the sum of the money or the fact that she didn't win punitive damages. It's been torture, she said, of the 7 legal fight to be ripped apart, thrown under the bus and backed over. This is, to me, is such a big victory. It's interesting that this civil trial went on for Bill Cosby, but we have not heard anything about what's his name, who's sitting in jail right now.
Harvey Weinstein.
We haven't heard anything about any of the civil trials accused against him. That is, it's interesting to see what's going to happen from that. So that happened, but that's enough said about Bill Cosby and his shenanigans. But then I'm going to finish our chocolate news on one final article, and this is a huge win. President Biden has named Marilyn Lynn Marler, I'm going to butcher her name, Malerba, as the first Native American U.S. treasurer to head the Mint, which I think is fantastic. It's wonderful. This has never happened before. Native Americans are due so much and should be honored. And the fact that now we have someone of that wonderful legacy heading our U.S. Mint is a fantastic achievement for the country. And I think it's wonderful. So we just want to do a big hand clap and hooray for her. She is believe it or not, the lifetime chief of the Mohegan Indian tribe, and has previously worked as a registered nurse and has served in various tribal government roles. And the tribe's reservation is located on the Thames River in Uncasville, Connecticut. So I think that's fantastic that she has, changed over time. She is a chief. She understands leadership and things like that. Obviously, she understands what's going on. And I think it's fantastic that she's going to head up the Mint. So congratulations to her and for the legacy of Native Americans, that they're finally being recognized for the leadership capabilities that they have. So, and that is the chocolate news for today.
Thank you so much, Andrea. So now we're moving on to our main topic, and we have Sheri Riley, and she is a social media influencer, and I want to welcome her.
Thank you.
Welcome her on today's show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for I appreciate being here.
The main thing I want to ask, because you're a social media influencer, but you're so much more than that. But I had to ask, there are so many people who want to be social media influencers, but how do you actually become a social media influencer? Just give us like a quick how-to guide.
You have something to say and you go live. It's literally that easy today with today's technology, and all you really need is a voice and to be passionate about something that you're talking about. Get online, get on YouTube, get on Facebook, get on Instagram, post a video, go live, and start following people that are passionate and fired up about things that you are. Create a sort of digital footprint on your page so that when people go there, they know exactly who you are and what you stand for. But it's really just about connecting with people and jumping online and having a say, using your voice. And that's the reason why I feel with social media, it's freedom of speech and being able to say how you feel about something. It's powerful. And so literally just getting on as much as you possibly can and talking about things that are important to you.
Now, as far as engagement goes, I noticed that you have Facebook and Twitter, but and I'm sure each one of them have their pros and cons or anything, but which one do you get the most use out of? Is it Instagram or Facebook?
So currently I get the most use of Facebook. I have my own separate Sharing with Sheri is my online show. It's more of a like I have it more of like a network show. So think of like Oprah or the Red Table Talk, um,
Mm,
Jada Pinkett. That's kind of how my show is.
okay.
And I house it on, I started it on Facebook, and it's a separate page called Sharing with Sheri, Sheri. And I started on Facebook by just literally going live and talking, and people were engaged with me, and they kind of just sat with me for an hour talking about whatever was on my mind. And I would get comments, and I would get, people sharing my post. And so I said, well, there's something to this. People want to hear what I have to say. And so having a communications degree from UC, and also having some background in camera operating and editing and those sorts of things, having a writing background as well, I just decided I'm going to do something professionally and put a whole show on, because people are engaged with me and I have something to say. And so that is exactly what I did. And I started it on Facebook. And so now I'm kind of moving it over to YouTube, because YouTube is really where you want to be. If you have like a show like mine, that's, really where you're going to monetize, right?
Right.
But Facebook is a great tool as well. I mean, you have the Red Table Talk on there, and Pinkett's show on there is pretty successful. You can say what you want about her, but her show, I mean, she gets a lot of viewers,
She does.
just on her Facebook page alone. So you can be successful at it on Facebook as well. And there is a way to monetize it on Facebook as well, but you are going to probably garner a wider viewership on YouTube. So my goal is to really turn my viewers from Facebook over to my YouTube page. So that is my goal.
So how long have you been doing your own talk show?
So actually the talk show itself, I launched it in July of last year. And my first pilot show was with a young lady called Ashley Glass. She's a beautiful soul. And let me go back to my show in general. My show is about people. Okay. It's not just about relationships. I wanted to have people to have a say and to be able to tell their stories on a non-judgmental platform. And I'm a storyteller,
Right.
regardless if I'm writing or acting or directing or producing my show, which I do all of the above. I'm a storyteller at heart, and that's what I am. And so what I wanted was to be able to bring people on that had something to say. And Ashley Glass really wanted to come on and talk about her experience with domestic violence. And that's what we did. And it was an hour show about her experience and what her challenges were, why she got into that kind of situation. We talked about her upbringing and just how she got out of it, and just how inspiring it is to hear another woman talk about an experience that you are probably going through right now, but just don't want to talk about. Maybe you're embarrassed to even talk about it. Maybe you don't know where to go or the resources to grab hold of to help you out of those situations. And so just from that one first pilot show, lots of women came to me and said, this made me feel less alone. And I didn't know that Cincinnati had resources for this. And now I know. And so that is really my mission, is to be able to, that everyone can connect with someone on something. And we all want the same things. We all want to be secure. We all want to be happy. We all want love. And we're all struggling with something. I don't care if you're the happiest person in the world, there are challenges that you're going to go through in life. And I also enjoy talking about things like on my show. I'm getting ready to, my next episode will be about Michael Kopage and his leadership on the Black Lives Matter mural downtown in front of City Hall. And that is going to be about his story and, kind of getting off of the beacon path of the mural. Yes, he was a lead on it, but really this is going to be about, Michael as a person and what makes his heart bleed and what is he passionate about and what made him do be a part of the mural and what is his life about. And I'm really excited about that because he's a very complex, beautiful individual. And hopefully I can tell his story. So really, my show is about a lot of different things and not just one.
Gotcha. Well, I'm so glad that you're doing that show because I know a lot of people gravitate towards stories like this, and I love it how
Yes.
you're a natural storyteller like this. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, all three of us, I'm sure, have a story to tell,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's interesting to see how people are influences in many different ways. You're an influence on social media. I know, for me, I have introduced a number of friends to several different things as I grew and developed and learned about websites and social media and things like that. I would tell my friends about that and how that the impact of that, and then I see them run with it and take the information I've given them and how they've grown in that different way. So everyone's an influencer in many different ways.
Exactly.
I think that it's just interesting that you've turned your influence into a talk show
Yeah.
on YouTube, and we have this podcast, and we talk about different stories and things like that, and give our opinion about it. So that's a different form of influence that happens. I was going to say, are you a weekly talk show or monthly, or how often are you doing your show?
So I would realistically want to do it monthly. The thing is that I am the producer on the show, so funding is very tight. So I had to take a step back to figure out to get some sponsorships and that sort of thing. So we are going to launch the next one here in August, and hopefully I can do it monthly on a monthly basis. But yeah, just a little note for those who are listening and you want to do something like what I'm doing on social media, don't get frustrated. Don't let the, oh God, I get online and nobody's really watching, nobody's really liking my videos. If you have something to say and if you're passionate about something, then continue doing it, and the right people will come along. And maintain a positive attitude, because I guarantee you, in this business, as an entrepreneur, as I am, I pretty much have my own production company. I pay my camera operators, I pay my editor, and the rest of the things like the marketing part, the writing part, the actual structure of the show, I do all of that myself. And so, just maintain a positive attitude. This business is not easy. And especially being an entrepreneur, you're going to have some challenges. You're going to hit some walls. You're going to get some people that's going to tell you no. In fact, I had a couple of people that told me, no, I'll pass on being on your show, and let's keep in touch. And you can't take that personally. Two reasons why. Number one is because it could very well be that it has nothing to do with you or your show. It could very well be that, they have things going on in their lives and they just can't give the energy or towards, being on your show. It could have absolutely nothing to do with you. So you cannot take it personally. And number two, you have to believe in yourself and believe that the right people are going to come along that want to be on your show and that are meant to be on your show. So you have to have faith and belief in yourself to keep going. Because I'll tell you, it's not the easiest. And you're not going to jump on social media being like, oh, bam, just having like 500,000 viewers overnight. You can, you absolutely can, but that is not the typical thing that happens. So don't let that frustrate you. Take those challenges and overcome them and see how you can adapt. And so that is my advice for any of those who are looking to be influencers, to do a network show like mine. It takes a lot of true grit and just believe in yourself and keep going.
Well, that's certainly great advice. And Sheri, I'm so happy for you, and I hope you have all the best success in the future. And I will definitely keep watching your show, because it sounds like a very, very interesting show, especially the first show with Ashley Glass. Was that her name?
Yes.
Yeah. But just to reiterate, where can we watch your show at again?
So you can watch it on Facebook. Just type in Sharing with Sheri, Sharing, SHARING, Sharing with Sheri, SHERI is how you spell my name. You can find that on Facebook, and you can also key that in on YouTube, Sharing with Sheri. And if you Google Sharing with Sheri, it should pop up as well.
Yeah.
So so you can find them either way. I do have an Instagram page that I literally just created just to have people kind of, if they're looking for it on Instagram, but Instagram it's more so for those who are doing the reels and the pictures and the photos and stuff like that. It's not your major game changer as far as a network show like this. So
Right. Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much. And that's it for today's show. I want to thank Andrea for coming on discussing all the chocolate news. Thank you so much, Andrea.
yeah.
You're very welcome, and I'll be looking forward to bringing you more chocolate news next week.
All right.
Yes, that was interesting. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate this. Hopefully I can come on more.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, I'll hold you to that. All right.
Yes.
And you can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.thecincinnatiherald.com, the Sesh newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Our podcast is on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. I'm John Alexander Reese, and have a good day.